objection. This budget request includes billions of dollars in increases for clean energy research and development, including hundreds of millions for new or greatly expanded activities. At a time when funding increases absolutely must be reversed for the most worthy and well-planned programs, I believe this committee will expect rigorous planning and detailed justification for those proposed increases. But here's the problem. As an example, a $203 million 10-fold increase to vehicle technologies deployment, a half-page justification. New and advanced biofuels reverse auction, $150 million to defend that action, an activity never before conducted by the department, a half-page of justification. $185 million for commercial building efficiency, little justification, and $100 million for next generation materials, little justification. So the question, a two-part question, Secretaries Kelly and Hoffman, what planning and analysis have you done to ensure these increases would be well spent? And really, can they be spent in a year? And part two, where is the evidence of this planning with such little justification in the budget request?
Well, as I said in my statement, we've tried to put this budget together based on a very careful analysis of where energy is used in the U.S. and what our opportunities are for providing it. The programs that you've suggested all grew out of that analysis, and we'd be happy to share that in detail with you. In some of the cases that one of the problems we have in ERE is that it's a very complex program, and the budget document that we submitted to you is already quite lengthy, so we've tried to run a balance between providing lots of detail on each program and having something brief enough for people to read. So we would be very happy to provide you any level of detail you want. Most of the programs you mentioned would be done on a large national competition. For example, the electric vehicle infrastructure that you described would be funding that would go out to communities to build charging infrastructure on a competitive basis. So the issue here is how do we structure those competitions? There certainly is a need around the country for a massive new infrastructure to charge electric vehicles. And this would help provide the planning and support services to cities around the country to do exactly that. We hope that we can stimulate innovative ideas in each one of these, in each city, that we would be able to pick the most powerful and productive.
And Secretary.
Thank you, sir. For our energy storage program, we're asking for $57 million, which is a 4 times increase over what was in 2010. The strategy that we put together in looking at energy storage is we broke it into 3 components. We looked at it for R&D requirements for reducing the cost of energy storage and how to improve the performance of energy storage. We looked at the system requirements. So what does the electric system need today with respect to bulk energy storage? We need a system that provides energy management to reduce the peak. We need energy storage technologies to provide regulation, which is that fast response. We need energy storage to provide ramping. We've looked ahead to the future and really analyzed the requirements of the system. Now, those requirements will vary from regions of the country, but we went through and did the analysis of the types of applications that are required for energy storage. The third component is actually looking at successful demonstrations to be able to justify the cost and benefits. We have goals that we're going after with respect to energy storage, 30% reduction in cost, and other goals. We've developed an energy storage program plan, and we've done some of this as a model for most of our programs in our organization. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Kelly, the budget request proposes $150 million for an advanced biofuels reverse auction. It's my understanding that $4.5 million was made available within fiscal 08. And this request increases funding by more than 30-fold when that funding from 08, while that funding from 08 still has not been used. Now that's a large number. But again, little justification in the write-up. How did you arrive at $150 million, and how do you know if it would be enough to get the auction off the ground?
So the advanced biofuels are really a key part of our program to try to get America off of together with the efficient vehicles, finding an alternative fuel for vehicles is one of the key things to offsetting the something like $400 billion we're going to be spending importing oil this year. So one of the features of our program is to try to find a way to jumpstart the new generation of biofuels production that is turning cellulose, not just corn, but cellulose into useful fuel. The firm, we have supported research in the past. A lot of these firms, unfortunately, have run into financing problems here in the last 2 years, just because, not because the technology has